CQCQCQ40, CQ40 meter, KB2 UKA calling. CQCQCQ40, CQ40 meter. Kilowatt Bravo 2, United Kilowatt Alpha, CQ40, KB2 UKA, Long Island, New York, QRZ. CQCQCQ40, CQ40 meter, KB2 UKA calling. CQCQCQ40, CQ40 meter. Kilowatt Bravo 2, United Kilowatt Alpha, CQ40, KB2 UKA, Long Island, New York, QRZ. CQCQCQ40, CQ40 meter, KB2 UKA calling. CQCQCQ40, CQ40 meter, Kilowatt Bravo 2, United Kilowatt Alpha, CQ40, KB2 UKA, Long Island, New York, QRZ. Hey Glenn, hope you're doing well, buddy. I think it's Kilo 9 Yankee Kilo, QSL? All right, Mark, Roger. My name is Doug, Delta Oscar Uniform Golf, Long Island, New York. I'll give you a signal report next transition. I copy you. 40 was pretty active earlier. Looks like it might be a little bit stretched out now. I'm 50 miles east of New York City and about a mile from the Long Island Sound, on Long Island, obviously. How copy, over? Oh, well, I'm hearing you. You're about 4x7. 4x7, there's QSB on the band, but I'm hearing you just fine. I'm also live streaming on YouTube, so if you put my call sign KB2UKA into the search box of YouTube, you'll find the live video in my channel. Excuse me. Hold on, I just got to update the date here. It'll have today's date in the video, and you'll be able to hear and see your signal report. Over. Yeah, Roger. I'm running a Sunsdr2 DX. About 1100 watts into a 43-foot ground-mounted vertical. I've got 100 ground radials underneath it at 65 feet in length and a legal limit remote tuner at the base. And then I'm doing a bunch of audio processing. Over. All right, Mark. Well, again, sorry about the lightning strike. Glad everyone is okay. The equipment could be replaced. And I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Kilo 9 Yankee Kilo from KB2 UKA 73. All right, this is KB2 UKA. Anyone else copy? CQ40 Q or Z?
Kilo 8, Mike Alpha Oscar.
Nice signal. Kilo 8 Mike Alpha Oscar. Good morning, Andrew. My name is Doug, Delta Oscar Uniform Golf, Long Island, New York. 50 miles east of New York City. I'll give you a report next transmission. How copy? Over.
Roger, beautiful signal into northwest, or north central West Virginia today. 5-9 plus. And good morning on a very special day for New York City, New York State, rest of the country. Originally from New Jersey. Was wrapped up on in the response back in 2001. So, a very somber day here. Like I said, you're 5-9 plus into north central West Virginia this morning, guys.
All right, Andrew. Yeah, Roger. You're 5'9" into Long Island. Yeah, I live in I'm 41, so I was 21, and my wife's 8 years younger than me. But I was just talking to her a few minutes ago. Boy, oh boy, at least up here in New York, the weather is identical to that day 20 years ago. I remember it quite well. And we live in a town called Kings Park, about 50 miles east of New York City. And I grew up about 40 miles east of New York City in a town over west of where I am now. And this town that I'm in now, very heavy firemen and police officer population. So there's a big event right down the block from me at the middle school. And we just had a soldier walking up and down my road holding an American flag all backpacked. And yes, definitely a somber day with identical weather to that horrible day 20 years ago. Over.
Roger that. Yeah, I was 25. And just prior to beginning my career in the fire service, I was a volunteer at that point. And I was reading gas and electric meters when I walked into one of my customers' establishments. It was a school, actually. And I couldn't find anybody to let me in to read the gas meter. And they were all in the principal's office watching that on the news. I had no clue. And I just about as soon as I saw the news, the pagers went off and tried to get it. So I left work, told my boss that I got to go. And from South Jersey, we got a crew together. And we made it as far as the Meadowlands Stadium. That's where they stopped everybody because the city was just getting overwhelmed. And we knew the New York Fire Department was all but gone at that point. But we were doing more harm than good just going into the city. And you couldn't cross the bridge anyway. There was so much foot traffic, you couldn't cross the bridge to get in. So we sat at the Meadowlands Stadium for almost 48 hours and watched some of the smaller buildings come down through the binoculars on top of the truck before they finally sent us home. And we were going to go in and do a rotation for the rescue efforts, but thankfully the steelworkers came. And so we, a little angry, helpless feeling, not being able to go in. But at the end of the day, I believe that was the right decision. And just heartbroken, really is what it was. And how, it's amazing how soon everybody forgot. It's, I don't know, it's a different world since 9/11. It definitely, I guess you had to be there to understand how much it really changed the world there, right?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't agree more. The country is forgotten. That was made evident 3-4 weeks ago. the things that the people that came together after that event, the liberties that we fought for, that's going out the window. We got a big problem. I've got an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old, second and third grade. It's a battle daily to raise them properly. The indoctrination that's happening in the schools is just unbelievable, especially in the state that I live in. And we have sadly forgotten, but I have not forgotten. I don't believe you have, and I think there's many of us that haven't. But as a nation, I think we have. So Andrew, I'm live streaming here on YouTube. It might be a little treat for you. You don't have to do it now. The video will be up there forever. But if you throw my call sign KB2UKA into the search box of YouTube, you'll find my channel. You're going to be able to hear and see your signal report exactly as I'm copying it. Timestamp right now is 11 minutes, 30 seconds. So I would just rewind it or fast forward it, depending on when you watch it, to about 7 minutes. You'll find us. I'm running a Sunsdr2 DX. I'm using their alpha version of their new release software. It's Expert SDR version 3. It's got a beautiful automatic noise canceller, which you'll hear on the YouTube channel. I had to adjust the automatic AGC. I had it set wrong when we first started speaking, but right now you'll hear that all you hear is your voice. There is no static. There is no QSB. It does a great job. I'm using a Mercury III amplifier, about 1200 watts, into a 43-foot ground-mounted vertical with 100 radials underneath it. And I'm doing a bunch of digital audio processing. Over.
Oh yeah, Roger. Well, you seem. It sounds like you've got the pretty much the exact rig that I'm really getting ready to invest in. The Sunsdr2 DX. I was looking at those last night. Probably going to be my next radio, and I'm trying to scrape together enough now for the Mercury III the kit to build here at the house. I'm currently on the Icom 7300, the Volkswagen of ham radio, does everything. But obviously I'm running quite a bit of outboard processing. It's really limited inside the rig. That's why I wanted to go the way of the sun. The sun interested me the most. Sounds fantastic. I guess that's all the more reason for me to look at them now there. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Roger. They're great. They're great. You can force feed that 7300, which you appear to be doing. I'm 4K wide right now. There's no one around us. So what I do here, I got into the ESSB stuff almost a year ago, and I started with an analog rack. I had 7 components, and I was running a Flex 5000 then. And then I wanted to get an Anon 7000. I put the deposit down. They were supposed to ship it between 8 and 10 weeks. In the 10th week, they still there was no ship date in sight. So I got antsy. I canceled the order, and I got the Sun. And I absolutely love it. Really love it. So what I'm doing here now, and then I went from the analog rack to a Behringer XR18, which is kind of a combination of software and hardware, and now I'm all software. So what I do, I'm on a Stellar X2 condenser mic, and that feeds into an M Audio Air audio interface. So that's where I get my phantom power from. And then that USBs the audio into the computer, and I do all my processing in a piece of software, a free piece of software called Cakewalk. So that's a DAW, a digital audio workstation. And then in Cakewalk, I EQ, I go to one exciter, then I go to a different exciter, then a little bit of compression, a gate, and a little bit of reverb. And then the Sunsdr software picks that up and turns it into RF. Over.
Yeah, Roger. KB2UKA 8MAO. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you got the system going up right. Yeah, you're correct. I'm kind of force feeding the 7300, but so far it appears to be working for me. Now I know that the Sun, there's a lot inside the computer or inside the radio itself. It does have an EQ built in. True? Does it not?
Oh yeah, and version 3 even more. I just put it up on the screen, so you'll see it when you watch the YouTube video. But I'm not using any of that. But I probably could. It's got an EQ. It's got compressor. It's got noise cancellation, aka a noise gate, probably. The only thing I run on in the internal processing is the DC block and the rotator. That's it. Everything else I have shut down. I have the EQ off, the pre-processing, but you can make it sound beautiful with the internal software. Over.
Hey, Roger. If you don't mind me asking, the rotator, how long do you have that one set? Because I was reading about that and I saw a video on it, but it really wasn't clear. About how long do you have that set?
So my good friend Rick, November 8 SDR, he gave me his settings and I like them. The rotator is set at 18 stages and 200 hertz. That's where I have it set. Over.
Okay. Yeah. So those are just amazing how well they process the sound. The main drawback to this with the 7300, I love the 7300. It does fantastic, and like I said, I am force feeding it. But the main drawback is, force feeding it, you may get it to go to 3.1. The settings are 2.9, and with the drop off, you might get it to go to 3.1, but that's about all you're ever going to get out of it. So, for now, it does fantastic. I certainly won't get rid of it. It'd be a great backup radio, and it would probably be mostly used for CW or digital modes once I get an SDR. But, fantastic setup you've got. That's exactly what I was looking for. Market-wise, price-wise, feature-wise, those between the Mercury and the Sun, definitely a fantastic system. Sounds great. Again, into West Virginia, probably a good steady 10 over max is probably 20 over or more, just steady. It's fantastic setup you got there. Sounds great.
I appreciate it. I couldn't be happier. And they're going to do a big firmware update end of this year, maybe first quarter of next year. And the big secret is we're supposed to get a version of Pure Signal. The hardware is already in the radio, and they just have to do a firmware update, and we should have Pure Signal just like an Anon. But even without Pure Signal, this thing is very, very clean. You could probably see it on the 7300 scope. Over.
Oh yeah, Roger. Yeah, it is very, very clean. I'm curious with the Pure Signal. I know right now I think Pure Signal, it's fantastic. It's obviously, a bonus with the SDRs. I'm wondering how long before it's marketable to the hybrid. Maybe not the 7300. Of course, there's room to upgrade the 7300, but some of these radios like the 7610, 7851, TS 890 and 990. I'm wondering how long it is before they market that as an upgrade to the hybrid SDRs. KB2UKA, KMAO.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming. And I don't want to misspeak, but I believe in the last month I read somewhere that it's coming with ICOM. I think I read that. I either somebody posted it on Facebook or I read an article. I'm remembering hearing that it's coming with ICOM, that they're working on it. So yeah, it's going to go. Look, in 5 years, all the radios are going to look like this, I think. Or like the MB1, a combination, or like a Flex 6400M. It'll be an onboard computer. You'll have the SCR software right built in if you still want your knobs. But heck, you could still do knobs with this thing if you want to put a controller on it or one of these MIDI DJ interfaces. You could get that to work over.
Oh yeah, Roger. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the SDRs, they're not going anywhere. It is, you're either going to have a hybrid or you're going to have a true SDR. I'm wondering, though, like with ICOM, the 7300, they did a fantastic job keeping the price low for the features you get. And Yaesu paid attention and got into that with the the FE-TX10 or whatever it's called. Great radio, great price, loaded. Probably one of the best receivers on the market right now, bar none. It's awesome. I think the only comparison would be the 101MP for box radios. Hopefully, when that happens, we see the true SDRs, the no buttons, knobs, whatever. See the prices coming down. But it's kind of going the way of, I'm a hunter here in West Virginia. I do a lot of hunting. It seems like it's kind of going the way of the archery game for bow hunters. It's becoming a rich man's hobby, and that's sad to see. It's very price restrictive for a new ham, a teenager or a young adult, starting out, wanting to get into the hobby, and that's sad. But there are a lot of good radios out there, older box radios, which are a good, great place to start. But I'd love to see the prices come down on those as we move to the SDRs, because the advantages, as far as sound quality and pure sound, all that stuff. I mean, I think it's great. It's moving in a really great direction, guys.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, and not just the radios. I call CQ a lot. I broadcast everything on this YouTube page. It's gonna, 9 out of 10 guys, they don't have an amplifier. And yeah, you can work without an amplifier, but they're hard to hear. And amplifiers, that's why I like the Mercury. $2,500, you're almost at legal limit. The difference between 12 and 1,500 watts is nominal. Extremely nominal. And plus it puts out more than 12 most of the time, like almost 13. And then if this Mercury had a brand name on it, it'd be a $5,000 amplifier, and that's what they go for, 5, 6, 8. And then my first amp was an AL811, and I still have it. It did great things, and it's a backup if this thing ever goes. But just so you know, I've had this over a year now. No problems whatsoever. Doesn't mean I'm not going to get one, but no problems. It's a workhorse. All right, my friend, it's a little after 10 a.m. I got to take my daughter in a few minutes to her singing lesson. So I'm going to say 73 to you, Andrew. I hope you check out the YouTube page. You're going to like how you sound. You sound great. Got you down here in the logbook. If you like the YouTube page, please subscribe. You'll get notified next time I'm live streaming. Stop by again and say hello. Kilo 8, Mike Alpha Oscar from KB2 UKA. I'll listen out, and then I'll be clear. 73.
Roger, KB2 UKA, Kilo 8, Mike Alpha Oscar. Much appreciate the sound advice on the SDR. And, you enjoy your weekend. And God bless you guys up there in New York. I know it affects the whole country, but, this day is absolutely for you guys. Nobody suffered more. And God bless New York State and the people there. So have a fantastic weekend, and I will check that out. And hopefully get to talk to you again soon. KB2 UKA, Kilo 8, Mike Alpha Oscar. God bless. 73.
God bless as well. Enjoy the weekend. Take care. All right, this is KB2 UKA going QRT. I'm clear. 73.